Ambassador Zektar's 4 eyes blinked in rapid succession as he reviewed the classified report for the 100th time. The holographic display cast an eerie blue glow across his scaled features, highlighting the deep worry lines that had formed over the past solar cycle. As the Galactic Senate's leading xenobiologist, he had studied countless species across the galaxy, but none had ever kept him awake during his regeneration periods like the humans of Earth. The report was damning. In just 50 Earth years since first contact, humanity had gone from primitive chemical rockets to reverse engineering faster-than-light travel. They had established colonies on 17 worlds, formed trade agreements with 43 species, and somehow convinced the notoriously isolationist Vorthak Empire to share their shield technology. Most disturbing of all, they had done it without conquest, without threats, without the usual galactic power plays. They had done it by being helpful. "The motion is before the Senate," announced Prime Chancellor Velnoth, her crystalline voice echoing through the vast chamber. "Species classification, Homo sapiens of Sol 3, threat level, extreme. Proposed action, immediate quarantine and technological suppression." Zektar rose from his seat in the observer's gallery, his tail twitching with nervous energy. He had spent 3 years living among the humans, studying their culture, their psychology, their inexplicable tendency to adopt alien refugees and offer technological assistance to struggling civilizations. The Senate's decision seemed inevitable, but he knew they fundamentally misunderstood the nature of the human threat. On the Senate floor, Senator Crix of the Hegemony Alliance was presenting the case for quarantine. "In less than a century, they will surpass us technologically," he declared, his mechanical voice modulator adding an ominous tone to his words. "Their rate of innovation is unprecedented. Their capacity for adaptation is unmatched. They must be contained before they destabilize the galactic order." What the senator didn't mention, what the classified reports glossed over, was how the humans achieved their rapid advancement. They didn't steal technology or conquer advanced civilizations. They did something far more dangerous. They collaborated. Zektar had witnessed it firsthand during his time on Earth. When the Rigelian refugees arrived, fleeing their dying home world, the humans didn't just offer them sanctuary. They offered them citizenship, jobs, research partnerships. Within months, Rigelian bioengineering techniques were being combined with human ingenuity to develop new medical treatments. The humans called it brain trust integration. When the Centauri faced an energy crisis that threatened their entire civilization, humanity didn't demand territory or resources in exchange for help. They sent their best engineers to work alongside Centauri scientists, freely sharing their fusion technology. The improved power systems that resulted benefited both species, and the humans gained Centauri expertise in gravitational manipulation. The pattern was always the same. Humans would identify a problem, find the species best equipped to solve it, and then convince them to work together. They had an almost supernatural ability to see potential where others saw only differences. A warrior species became master strategists. A hive mind became the galaxy's most efficient logistics network. Each partnership made humanity stronger, but more importantly, it made their partners stronger too. The vote proceeded as expected. 847 in favor of quarantine, 23 opposed, 15 abstaining. The humans were officially classified as a galactic threat, their expansion to be halted, their technology suppressed. Zektar felt his heart sink as he watched the Senate security forces begin coordinating the quarantine effort. They would blockade human space, cut off trade routes, and impose technological sanctions. It was the standard response to emerging powers that grew too quickly. But as he prepared to leave the chamber, his communicator chirped with an urgent message from his research station. The transmission was from Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Endeavour, one of humanity's most respected ambassadors. "Hello, friends." Chen's voice was calm, almost cheerful. "We've been monitoring your proceedings with great interest. We understand your concerns about our rapid expansion and want to assure you that we have no intention of threatening the galactic order." Zektar's blood ran cold. The humans had been monitoring the secret Senate session. Somehow, they had penetrated the most secure chamber in the galaxy. Chen continued, "We know you're planning a quarantine, and we respect your decision. However, we thought you should know that we've spent the last 20 years preparing for this possibility. You see, we learned something important during our first contact protocols. If you can't join them, help them join you." The display in the Senate chamber flickered, replaced by a galactic map. Red dots began appearing across known space, hundreds of them, then thousands. "Every species we've worked with over the past 50 years has been quietly integrated into our communication network," Chen explained. "The Rigelians perfected quantum entanglement communication with our help. The Centauri developed instantaneous gravity wave transmission. The Vorthak created unhackable bioneural links. We helped them build these technologies, and in return, they agreed to share them with us." The red dots connected with golden lines, revealing a vast network that spanned half the galaxy. Species that had never spoken to each other were now linked through human-facilitated partnerships. "Your quarantine will fail because it's based on a fundamental misunderstanding," Chen said, her voice carrying a hint of sadness. "You see us as a threat because we grow powerful quickly. But our real strength isn't our technology or our expansion rate. It's our ability to make others powerful alongside us." Senator Crix's mechanical voice crackled through the chamber's speakers. "This is exactly why they must be contained. They're destabilizing established hierarchies." "No, Senator," Chen replied, somehow hearing his comment across the secure channel. "We're stabilizing them. When species work together instead of competing, everyone benefits. The Hegemony Alliance has lost 3 member worlds to internal conflicts in the last decade. The systems we've helped integrate haven't lost a single one to civil war." Zektar looked around the chamber and saw the truth dawning on his colleagues' faces. The humans hadn't just been preparing for quarantine, they had been preparing to make it irrelevant. Their network of partnerships meant that isolating humanity would require isolating half the galaxy. The display changed again, showing economic data, technological advancement rates, and conflict statistics. In every system where humans had established partnerships, quality of life had improved dramatically. "We were never going to conquer you," Chen concluded. "We were going to make conquest obsolete, competition obsolete. The very concept of galactic threat levels obsolete. We're not trying to rule the galaxy. We're trying to teach it to rule itself." Prime Chancellor Velnoth's crystalline form seemed to dim as she processed the implications. "You've made yourselves indispensable." "We've made cooperation indispensable," Chen corrected gently. "The Senate can vote to quarantine us, but you'll be quarantining yourselves from the future we're all building together." As Zektar watched the Senate chamber erupt in confused debate, he realized the humans had already won. Not through superior firepower or advanced technology, But through something far more dangerous to the established order, they had made themselves genuinely useful to everyone. The Galactic Senate had declared humanity a threat, and they had been absolutely right. Humans were a threat. To conflict, to isolation, to the very idea that different species couldn't work together. And that, Zektar thought as he watched. The quarantine vote being hastily reconsidered was exactly the kind of threat the galaxy needed.